Hello Goblins, it's Chris, Eldritch Pipes, with another episode of Dear Eldritch. Currently smoking next week's review tobacco, so I'm not going to tell you what it is. It'll be a surprise, but we have a few questions, so we should get to it. This is interesting, slightly off topic. Dear Eldritch, what kind of music are you into? Have you any preferences in the workshop while pipe making? Tim Holland. Funnily enough, I do have some preferences. I'm a metal guy, more or less. I don't like everything and anything. I usually find a band that I like and mine them for all that they're worth. I would say the bands played most often in the workshop are Amon Amarth and Powerwolf. If you know those guys. Amon Amarth from, now let me think, with Odin on our side onwards. If I've got that right, I've listened to albums before then, and I'm not into it. Everything after that is excellent, right up until the very latest one, and it's slightly gone a bit samey. Powerwolf, everything they've ever done is great. A band that I have been listening to recently, I discovered them recently, is a band called Ghost. And I don't like everything that they do, but they've got two albums that I really think are amazing. Meliora and Prequel. And they're both really great occult rock is how I'd describe them. Super cool. I hope that answers your question and gives you some ideas. Okay, right. Dear Eldritch, I'm not clear on the interior design and workings of your Calabash. Can you explain? Thanks. Al, the ever curious Molitor. Yes, I can. With the aid of this handy diagram. This is not the actual size. This is the actual size. But I wasn't sure how well that would show on camera. So here you can see tobacco chamber. This is the entire Calabash chamber here. This dark area just represents an inner lining of Delrin for the stem to fit into. You need that because the expansion and contraction on the wood would be so large, the fit would be all over the place. So you do a Delrin lining that gives you a fit you can rely on. As you can see here, the chamber is probably twice as large as the tobacco chamber. But you can see so the center of the tube is here, but obviously I've drilled the tobacco chamber to be all the way deep rather than start at this point. That would simplify the drilling, but would mean you'd have a very shallow tobacco chamber. So I shifted the drilling down, so yeah. And the smoke obviously comes into the calabash chamber, expands, cools. The inner surface of the chamber, which is wood, helps absorb some of the moisture, it seems. And as the smoke expands, it cools as well, it seems. I say it seems because I'm not in a position to do any real science on it. So it's very subjective. Indeed, I think possibly the entire field of calabash chambers is somewhat subjective. There's one guy, unfortunately I can't remember his name right now. If I do remember it, I'll stick it in the caption notes, maybe. And he would make these pipes with these bowl shapes here, and then the calabash chambers would be huge. And apparently you could get laser thermometers on them, and it would show that this smoke would actually cool. There you go. That's as much as I know about calabash chambers. From that point on, though, it's try it and see what you think. Does it make a difference? That's all you can really do. I hope that answers your question, but I hope that it clears up the internals of what's going on here at least. Dear Eldritch, I really want to commission a pipe, but I've never done it before. What should I do? Lots of love, Goes the Gozerian. So, right, commissioning a pipe. I'll sort of talk generally and then how you would approach it going to anybody, and then possibly with some tweaks if you want to talk to me. So really the first thing is, if you want to commission a pipe, it's either for two reasons. One, you've seen a pipe that has only been made by one artisan pipe maker, so you have to go to them more or less. Two, you've got a design, an idea for a design, and you want somebody to make it for you. So, which way do you go? Obviously, so if you wanted one of my designs, the best person to come and see would be me, obviously. But if it's not as specific as that, then you need to consider what pipe it is that you're after, because not everybody does everything. It's a curious thing. Pipe makers come into the pipe world, we acknowledge, roughly from two points of view. They either come in with engineering knowledge and they learn the creative aspect, or they're creative artistic types and they learn the engineering crafting side of it. And then their own natural leanings mean that, will determine whether they fall into Danish style, English style, like those traditional, or if it's completely off the wall, or indeed a mixture of the two, like someone I know. So, pick your pipe maker well. If you want a recommendation, if you're not sure who might be the best person to go and see, send me an email. I will always recommend a pipe maker if I think I'm not the right person for the job, or if you just want to know who you think might be the best person for the job. Either pop a comment down there or in the comments, or an email is fine. Or go to join a forum, like the Speakeasy forum, and talk to the guys on there. Recommend a pipe maker. So, you've chosen your pipe maker, but he hasn't yet chosen you. Email or messenger. However, if they, like me, are on social media, they're probably more than happy to be contacted via social media. I know I am. You can contact me by email, by messenger on Facebook, Instagram, private messaging. It doesn't really matter to me. So contact them. Say hi. Discuss what your requirements are. Now, again, this will depend on what kind of pipe maker you've gone to and what kind of pipe you have in mind. For example, you might have like a pipe really tightly designed. And if that's the case, some pipe makers they're just a shoe-in for that kind of thing. They're all about this kind of like technical details, exact measurements, exact shaping to your CAD drawing or whatever, and they'll just go for it. For example, that wouldn't be me. You know, I'm not a give me all the measurements and I'll make you a pipe. You know, I'm a tell me your dreams and I will make a pipe. I can deal and will deal with some rough measurements, but, you know, I'm not the kind of person who's going to be held to lots and lots of set out dimensions. That's not the way I work. I work more artistically. But some do. So, you've talked to your pipe maker, you've agreed, you'll probably need to pay a deposit. I take a deposit. Lots of pipe makers will take different kinds of deposit. A few will take no deposit, and a few will want payment in full before they make the pipe. That's down to the pipe maker. We've all had different experiences, which leads us to do different things. I require a minimal deposit, so less than half. Some people require the full amount, and some people will just go, well, I'm going to sell what I make anyway, so some pipe makers will only make a pipe that they know they can sell anyway, and so don't require a deposit. Some people make something that's so sort of like unique and customer vision specific that it's like, yeah, pay for it now, because if you don't actually take it, no one else will. That can happen. It's all down to that, whatever the vision for that pipe is. And lastly, be patient. Pipe making is a long game. It takes time. Things can go wrong for the pipe maker. You know, he can be right in the middle of the process, and all of a sudden a huge flaw in the briar appears, and that's it. You know, 2-3 days of work down the drain. So be patient with your pipe maker. He has to work with a wood that can be quite frustrating. So For me, at the moment, if you were wanting to talk to me about a commission, for the moment, my waiting list is 8 months long. I don't know how it got to this point. In one sense, it's really good. I have that kind of, that sort of, can you call it security? I know what I'm doing for the next 8 months. On the other hand, that can be frustrating if you want to pipe kind of soon. Occasionally, my waiting list jiggles about a bit. Life happens, sometimes people have to drop out. If that happens, I rejiggle things to some extent. But for me, you should, if you were talking to me now, it'd be like, 8 months' time, which is, it's a lot for some people. That's a lot of time to wait for some people. For a pipe maker, it's like, that's a blink of an eye, 8 months. Literally. I'm making a couple of pipes and then I'm making your pipe. That's what it feels like. Time just goes, days are like nothing. There you go. I hope that answers your question there, Goza. Last one then. This is a quick one. Dear Eldritch, what are your thoughts on filters? Cheers, Marquis Dessard. Well, thanks, Marquis. So in the past couple of videos we've covered finishing briar, shellac, bowl coatings, and now filters. Any one of these can start a dumpster fire on a forum. Here's the thing. Your pipe smoking journey is your pipe smoking journey. There is no right, there is no wrong. There's only pleasure and pain. There's upsides to filters and there is downsides to filters. I mean, that is pipe making all over. There isn't any right or wrong, there's only pros and cons. So, I usually don't smoke with a filter. But there is one tobacco that I smoke that I like, that I do smoke with a filter. Because I've got 2 pipes that take 9mm. That's the charcoal filter. And that is Kentucky, Bold Kentucky. So, just put it down. Kind of done there. Filters are obviously there to filter the smoke. That's exactly what they do. They filter out moisture and some other things to a degree. So that can be really beneficial if generally you find tobacco is too strong, or you have other reasons for just wanting to cut the strength of the tobacco, or you want a drier smoke. Any of those are good reasons to have a filter. It really compromises the flavour. There's no 2 ways about that. It compromises the flavour. For the most part, I find that a bad thing, for me personally, except for Bold Kentucky. Bold Kentucky is, it's too strong for me to enjoy straight. So when I want to smoke Bold Kentucky, I smoke it with a filter. And it cuts the strength down to where I can smoke it happily. And so there it is. Smoke or not smoke, or don't smoke filters as you see fit. It's all about what you like. And that's it for today. Thursday will be drawing for the pipe giveaway, so make sure you tune in then. Till then, take it easy. Your loyal pipe maker.